Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of how our thoughts, emotions, and vibrations influence our health, well-being, and overall life. You'll discover why focusing on problems only amplifies them, how shifting your vibrations can lead to healing, and why self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. We'll explore the role of the solar plexus, the center of our emotions, and learn how to align our vibrations for harmony and happiness. If you're ready to explore the power of vibrations and their impact on our lives, let's get started.
Focus on problems versus focus on well-being. As a doctor, I often hear statements like, "We're either diagnosing cancer or pre-cancer." This makes me a bit uneasy, but I understand the point. In an environment where so much attention is given to problems, we unconsciously assume that the issue is always lurking. Of course, there are exceptions, but I've realized that in my practice, I can either focus on health or on illness, but not both at the same time. This creates a dilemma. Should I just close my practice and go fishing? Actually, no. You can create virtual realities that shift your focus toward well-being, even while working in a system centered on disease. You can briefly assess the problem to understand the patient's needs. Then quickly switch to finding solutions, if your mindset is solution-oriented. The key isn't to fight the disease but to align with well-being. Success begins the moment this shift happens. In medicine, as in life, we often face a choice: focus on what's wrong or on what could be better. When we constantly look for problems, we start seeing them everywhere. This doesn't mean problems don't exist, but our attention to them only amplifies their presence in our lives. Instead, if we learn to shift our focus to health and well-being, we can create a reality where solutions come naturally. This isn't about denying problems but about changing our approach to them. When I started applying this principle in my practice, I noticed that patients began coming in with a more positive attitude. They felt that I wasn't just looking for what was wrong but also believed in their ability to heal. This created an atmosphere of trust and hope, which in itself is a powerful tool for healing. How focusing on problems attracts more problems. In practice, if a patient comes in and I ask, "How's your pain today?" or "How depressed are you?" soon both of us feel worse. This focus on the problem attracts more of the same. Patients who resonate with this energy start flocking to you. Recently, I discovered that I have elevated blood sugar levels. When I start thinking about diet, medications, and related issues, it feels like there's no way out. Focusing on the problem only amplifies it, making solutions invisible. I've learned that if I stop worrying about food, blood sugar, and other concerns, and instead focus on feeling good, these issues lose their power. This principle works not only in medicine but also in everyday life. When we constantly think about what's hurting us, what's going wrong, or what we're unhappy about, we attract more situations that confirm our fears. This doesn't mean we should ignore problems, but it's important not to let them dominate our minds. For example, if you constantly worry about your health, you might start noticing every little thing that seems off. This can lead to unnecessary tests, stress, and even real health issues caused by constant tension. Instead, if you focus on what makes you happy and healthy, you'll start attracting more positive events and sensations. Combining traditional medicine and vibrational well-being, let's shift the focus from you to someone you're counseling. Imagine a patient with clear symptoms of illness. You want to help them shift from disease to well-being, but ignoring their diet or medications feels irresponsible. You might even risk losing your license if you stray too far from conventional methods. So, what do? The key is this: your actions are less important than your vibrational alignment. Perform the necessary actions, but let your inner focus be on well-being. You can practice medicine, prescribe treatments, and still maintain a mindset of wellness. When you're not working, immerse yourself in positive virtual realities, like walking on the beach. Feeling the sand under your feet. Over time, even if you work long hours, you can shift your vibrational tendency toward optimism. This shift will change the kind of patients you attract and the outcomes you see. This approach doesn't require abandoning traditional methods. On the contrary, it complements them by adding a crucial element, your inner state. When you work with a patient, you can continue ordering tests, prescribing medications, and giving advice, but your inner state will influence the outcome. If you radiate confidence and optimism, the patient will feel it and start believing in their recovery. Miraculous healings and the power of vibrations. There are countless studies showing miraculous recoveries in situations where healing seemed impossible. These occur because a different vibration is activated. Dominant beliefs and thoughts shape our reality. It's not hard to see how a dominant belief can influence the physical body. When an entire culture believes something, it becomes ingrained. Parents pass beliefs to children, religions to converts. It's all about vibrational alignment. With enough focus, you can even convince your body's cells of something new. But it takes determination to shift your thoughts toward what feels good. If you focus on fixing a problem, you only activate it more. For example, medical history is full of cases where seemingly hopeless patients suddenly recovered. These cases are often called miracles, but they're actually explained by a shift in vibrational state. When a person stops focusing on the illness and starts believing in their recovery, their body responds to this new energy. It's not magic, it's the science of vibrations. When we talk about vibrations, we're referring to the frequency at which our consciousness operates. If we constantly think about illnesses, fears, and problems, we're on a low vibration. But if we shift to thoughts of health, joy, and well-being, we raise our vibration. This, in turn, attracts corresponding events and states. How dominant thoughts influence healing. Here's a bold statement: any disease can be healed in a matter of days if you can distract from it and let a new vibration dominate. The healing process depends on how much you oscillate between the problem and the solution. It's not about counting how many times you think about the problem versus the solution. What matters is which thought dominates. If you keep thinking about the problem, the law of attraction will bring more symptoms. Instead, focus on thoughts that bring joy. It's not about controlling every thought but about creating feelings of well-being. This principle can be compared to training muscles. If you constantly train one muscle group, it becomes stronger. The same happens with thoughts. If you constantly think about problems, you train that part of your mind, and it becomes dominant. But if you start training thoughts of joy and well-being, they become stronger and start to dominate. For example, if you constantly think about your illness, you'll start noticing more symptoms. But if you shift to thoughts of health, you'll notice how your body responds to this new energy. You might feel a surge of energy, improved mood, and even a reduction in symptoms. Training vibrational alignment. You can learn to fine-tune your vibrations. For example, Esther found that she could reach a state of joy and then notice when a thought disrupted it. She learned to let go of such thoughts and return to feeling good. This process is about aligning with well-being. It's not about forcing positivity but gently guiding your thoughts toward what feels good. This process can be compared to tuning a musical instrument. If you want the instrument to sound harmonious, you must constantly tune it. The same applies to your thoughts and emotions. If you want your life to be harmonious, you must constantly tune your vibrations. For example, if you feel your thoughts drifting into negativity, you can consciously shift them to something positive. This could be a memory of a happy moment, a dream for the future, or simply imagining yourself in a state of complete well-being. Disconnection from self and self-worth. You mentioned that disconnection from self is often linked to a lack of self-love. Why almost always? There are always exceptions, but generally, your focus determines your vibration. If you feel disconnected because you're criticizing someone else, it's actually about your own vibration. If you were truly centered, their actions wouldn't affect you. It's always about your vibration, but people aren't always aware of it. For example, if you feel bad because someone hurt you, it doesn't mean they're truly at fault. It means your vibration is low, and you attracted this situation. If you were in a state of harmony, you wouldn't even notice the offense. Why we stop loving ourselves. When you feel bad and blame someone else, it's still about your vibration. Yes, you'd feel better if they changed, but you can't rely on that. If you need others to change to feel good, you're trapped. Self-worth and self-love are about aligning with your true self. When you're full of self-love, you adore everything around you. It's a tricky topic because society often discourages self-love. But it's essential. For example, from childhood, we're taught that loving ourselves is selfish. But in reality, self-love is the foundation for loving others. If you don't love yourself, you can't truly love others. Emotions and the solar plexus. We're born loving ourselves and knowing what we want. But over time, we're taught to please others. Mothers say, "Please me, not yourself," and we internalize this. We learn to prioritize others' happiness over our own. For example, when a child is born, they know what they want and aren't afraid to express it. But over time, they're taught to think of others, not themselves. This can lead to losing touch with their own desires. Where do emotions come from? Much has been written about the brain and thinking, but little is said about feelings and where emotions originate. Emotions are felt in the solar plexus, not the brain. This area, near the celiac plexus, is where we experience emotions. It's like asking why we can't hear with our eyes. Each part of the body has its role. The solar plexus is where we emotionally interpret vibrations, just as ears interpret sound. For example, when you feel joy, you sense it in the solar plexus. When you feel fear, it's also felt there. This is where we feel our emotions. The solar plexus, the center of emotions, the celiac plexus, located at the center of our body, coincides with the solar plexus. This is where we feel emotions. It's the core of our emotional experience. For example, when you feel happy, you sense it in the solar plexus. When you feel unhappy, it's also felt there. This is where we feel our emotions.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope this video helped you better understand how our thoughts, emotions, and vibrations shape our lives. Remember, you can always change your reality by shifting your vibrations. Love yourself, focus on well-being, and watch your life transform for the better. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.